Now, as you all know, Star Wars Celebration is going to be a very special event that takes place in 2023. That's going to be all in Europe, by the way. That's going to feature a lot of new Disney Plus announcements, theatrical announcements for the franchise of the Star Wars universe, and exactly what Favreau and Filoni are really up to when it comes to, of course, the roadmap of the franchise as a whole. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that we do know about the franchise as of right now is that Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, is really trying to shift things around and changing a lot of plans that were initially created by Bob Chapek in a more positive route. For those of you that have been uninformed, Chapek wanted to eventually go back to making Star Wars movies again, but at a slower pace until he got to that point. Now, what Iger wants to do is he wants to jump right in, focusing more so on movies as opposed to TV shows as fast as possible. Now, with that of course being said and all, we already know that Kathleen Kennedy is pretty much in the hot seat right now. She's got a lot of problems going on over at Lucasfilm. She's been getting a lot of warnings from Disney. Jon Favreau has been taking over elements of the Skeleton Crew show, working hand in hand with John Watts, the showrunner of that series. So there's a lot of great things happening so far. And specifically, what's been going on with the Acolyte is another story we'll touch on a little bit later, but that brings us to George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars himself, who really brought the franchise into this world back in 1977, right? So what's really going on here with George is actually quite something entertaining that some fans may respect and some fans may not respect. I'm sure you're going to get a divide with this as well. So with George Lucas actively helping both John and Dave for the future of Star Wars and where the roadmap is heading, they most recently got Disney to greenlight a very special project for the Star Wars fandom. Now, it's noted that not only are they developing Mandalorian movies that will be considered a new sequel trilogy, but that Lucas is actively working on a technique to fix portions of the sequel trilogy that may not change everyone's minds per se, but will be designed to entertain the audience and may have a bit more fun with the sequel films, with planned special editions that are going to be coming out in 2025. Now, they also have been referenced as extended editions that will include a host of deleted scenes and add-ons to big moments in the sequel trilogy that will be altered in both major ways and minor ways for the stories. Now, let me just pause here for a second. Now, we talked about this briefly about a week ago, that they are planning to pretty much digitally insert the Force ghosts of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda behind Luke Skywalker as he uses the Force projection technique. It's stuff like that the special editions of the sequels are going to involve. But not just add-ons, but also full-on deleted scenes that are now going to be considered canon. That's the overall plan by George Lucas that he actually pitched, and Disney is actually greenlighting all of this. So this is going to be a thing by 2025. It's going to first appear on Disney Plus, and then later release itself on the form of Blu-ray or whatever kind of format we have by then. Now, the thing about this though, and why I'm pretty certain that's not going to fix things 100%, is that you're going to have a lot of fans that have already made up their minds. Their minds are not going to be changed. No matter what you do to the sequels, it's not going to change their minds. But it most certainly, without a doubt, will make the films more entertaining, more fun to watch, more fun to actually rewatch even. And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to actually boost the rewatchability of the sequel trilogy films. It's not just The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, but they are also going to incorporate a lot of elements into The Force Awakens as well. And we're going to talk about that in just a second too. So, as you all know, Bob Iger is very desperate at this point. He's been panicking over what's been going on with Marvel and what's been going on with Star Wars. So he wants to really bring both franchises into a better and more positive direction. Phase 5 of Marvel, by the way, is looking brighter and brighter every day with all the Avengers movies, the Spider-Man films, and everything related to that, right? And Star Wars has a lot of great shows on the horizon, and a couple of trilogies also, and even solo or standalone films, whatever you want to call them, right? So with that being said too, on top of this also, that brings us to the next thing, is that one major plan by Lucas is to work with Favreau and Filoni on changing the ending battle between Palpatine, Rey, and Ben by including a host of deleted scenes that never made it to the final cut. Now, new scenes that were deleted, ones will also be added into The Last Jedi as a film that are set to include more Force Ghost scenes in the movie with these deleted scenes. Lucas, Favreau, and Filoni realized that bringing in deleted scenes and new add-ons to existing elements will make the films more entertaining and could very well make fans accept the films more. Now, this plan is said to have been approved by Bob Iger just recently, and that even The Force Awakens' original opening scene will also become a part of those special editions that are planned right now. So that's another thing, is that they're going to also include original opening scenes that were partially shot, that will be finished and complete, and distributed, of course, and put in to these special editions. Now, the thing about special editions that I think a lot of fans have some problems with is that some things fans don't want to be changed, right? If you look at the people that grew up with the original, A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi, there's a handful of fans that just did not like the special editions, but there's also a lot of fans like myself that absolutely love them because it's what I grew up with, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there grew up with them as well. The ones on VHS, you guys may recall. But there's a lot of work being put in to these special editions of the sequels, and this is basically George's plan to fix it to a degree. It's not going to be a 100% fix. He knows that, he's aware of that. Even John and Dave are aware about that. It's not going to be something that convinces everybody to just change their mind on the flip of a dime. But it is going to bring in more viewers to the sequels. It's going to bring in a better ratio of rewatchability and exactly how the movies flow. That's the overall plan by Disney right now. Now, do I think it's a waste of time? Not necessarily. I mean, they're not going to spend a load of time on this because a lot of scenes already do exist. They're just deleted scenes. They're going to be editing them in there. The add-on stuff doesn't take all that much effort, like putting in digital created Force Ghosts into specific scenes that don't necessarily need to be, refilmed per se. It's stuff like that, that they will be doing. And this, I think, is going to be quite a big moment in our time. And them doing this, Disney approving this pitch by George Lucas, I think it just goes to show you that this is an indirect response, that Disney knows that they screwed up that with the sequels, there's no doubt about it. Disney knows that they made major mistakes with not just, episodes 8 and 9, but even parts of episode 7. So overall, there's a lot of things that are coming out of this. I'm glad that Disney is at least making something entertaining, something fun to watch. Like I said before, I don't think it's a 100% fix, but it is going to make other fans happy, and it's going to fix the franchise to a degree, especially with the sequels. In partitions, of course, right? So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.